A loyal and faithful friend stays true to his word, keeps his promises, doesn't break them. There's a book that was produced for Thomas the Train Engine. I don't know if you've heard of those. They're children's books, but they actually changed the title. It was going to be Thomas Tells a Lie to Thomas Breaks a Promise. That's interesting because it really reiterates the whole point of the story there. I'm not going into Thomas the Train. This is 2 Samuel we're talking about. But chapter 9, David keeps a promise that he had made to his best friend, Jonathan. Remember way back in 1 Samuel, when Jonathan was still alive, David had promised him that he would take care of his family forever, his descendants forever. They both promised each other that. That was a covenant they made. And now here's David as king finally. He's had these promises made by God to him, keeping covenants and all that. Now he's wanting to do something kind and compassionate and show goodness and faithfulness to his friendship and see if anybody's alive in Saul's household. And he finds this son of David, Mephibosheth, who, if we remember him earlier when Saul had been killed, we learned that Mephibosheth's nanny dropped him and he became crippled. Well, this is years later. Okay, Mephibosheth has a son now and a family and a lot of servants and all this is going on. But David says, don't worry. You know, Mephibosheth is humble before the king. He's like, what do you want to do with me? He's worried. He's scared, or he would be. He's like the last sons of Saul. I would be a little petrified too. And David goes, don't worry. I'm going to take care of you. And he doesn't say for Jonathan's sake. He just says because I want to be good to you, but for the Lord's sake, to be kind. And that's what we really can learn from that is loyalty, friendship, being true to your word. So important these days to be true to your word. When you give somebody your promise, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Don't just say, oh, maybe I'll think about it, but make a promise, stick to it, be loyal, be true. That's the last lesson of this week. And 2 Samuel, we're going to cover so much next week of David and chapters 10 through 12. So that's going to be interesting. But just keep on studying the word. God bless. And thank you for listening.